welcome to 5 days of yoga for the busy mountain bike rider. This is your daily practice. It's a few good moves to get you more mobile and feeling better before, after, on any random Sunday if you're a rider. So we're going to begin with some movements through our arms, and I'm going to stay on the floor. You can stand up if you want to do this, but I'm going to stay down here simply because I don't know if it's going to chop my head off on the video. Okay, so you start by taking your arms out to the sides at shoulder height, and I want you to really reach out through your arms and reach out through your fingertips. Okay, so the arms are nice and straight. As you inhale, you raise the arms up in line with the ears, and when they're as high up as you can without scrunching up, we're going to start to bend the elbows. The fingers and the thumb, the index finger and the thumb come together, and you reach down behind the head. Inhale, come up. Straighten out. Now as you exhale, I'd like you to turn the whole arm backwards and then reach back behind the body. Begin to bend the elbows when you can't reach back anymore. Touch the thumb and the forefinger. Bring down to the low back. Okay, so we're going to keep going through that. Inhale, come up. When you can't come up anymore, part the arms. Exhale, move the whole arm in the shoulder sockets. Inhale, come up. Touch the fingers. Exhale, down behind the head. Okay, let's do a couple more. Keep rolling through. Inhale, come up. Move the whole arm. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Using your breath to help you make the movements as smooth as you can. Last one. It'll take you a little while to get used to moving with your breath, so don't stress too much about it. Just try and make a movement relate to a breath. Okay, release the arms down. Give the shoulders a quick roll. And then we're going to come to a standing position. And I want you to start with your feet hips distance apart. And then I want you to step 1 foot forward and 1 foot slightly back. And what we're aiming for here is a representation of how your feet sit on your pedals. It's not going to be the same because you've not got the bike, but just imagine how far apart your feet will be sitting, that kind of thing. Okay? You start with nice soft knees, and then as you exhale, I want you to bend your knees. So you send your knees forward almost until you can feel something in the ankles. Then I want you to send your bottom as far back as you can. And then if you can, come down, tap the floor. Inhale, come up, push through the legs, come back up to straight. And then do it all again. So you're coming down, you're sending the knees forward first. Then you're sending the bottom as far back as you can. Then you see if you can tap the ground. Keep going. So when you're looking at tapping the ground here, I want you to think about folding forward from your hips rather than rounding your back into it. Last one. Back up to stand. And then we'll switch feet. So one goes forward, one comes backwards a little bit. And we're going to do the same thing again. So big breath in to begin with. Exhale, knees forward, bottom back. Fold forward, tap. Push up. Try and make it as smooth as you can. Inhale. Exhale, knees forward, bottom back. Fold forward, tap. Come up. Pushing up actively through the feet. And again, knees forward, bottom back, fold forward, tap. Come up again. Last one. Big breath in. Exhale, knees forward, bottom back, fold forward and tap. Okay, push up again. And then from here, step the back foot back a little. Take your hands to your hips, both hips are pointing forwards. Okay, and we're going to lean the weight equally between both feet. So imagine trying to rip the mat underneath you, or the carpet, you're trying to pull away from each foot. Nice big deep breath in. As you exhale, I want you to start forward folding from your hips. Keeping the hips in line as much as you can. It's good to have your hands to your hips for a moment here. And then if it's possible for you, reach down towards the floor, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, do that folding motion towards your thigh again. If you can, fold forward at this point. You're going to let the head be nice and relaxed. You're going to bring the chin towards the chest, and you're going to be looking towards the back big toe. On an inhalation, start to come up, all the way up to standing. And we're going to swivel on our feet. So we're going to lift our toes, keep our heels where they are, and just swivel around. And then put yourself in the same position, but facing backwards. So what was the back leg is now the front leg. Back toes point out a little, hips point forward. Nice big deep breath in. As you exhale, hands to the hips, fold forward from the hips. Try and keep both hips pointing forwards. Go as far as feels okay. If you can reach down to the floor, now's your time. Big breath in. Exhale, fold down towards the leg if you've got the fingertips to the floor. On an inhalation, come up if you folded forwards. Push up through the feet, come all the way back up to stand, swivel back to the front of the mat. And we're going to have our feet hips distance apart again. Big breath in. As you exhale, begin to come down into a squat with the knees pointing forwards, lowering your bum down as much as you can. Your legs and your feet are quite close together here. Get as low down as you can, and then if you need to, you can part your knees a little, and I want you to try and sit down from here as gracefully as possible. Wasn't that graceful? Okay, so from here, I'm going to take my front leg out in front of me, straight out from the hip, 90-degree angle, 90-degree angle. This back leg will do the same, so it comes straight out of the hip, goes back behind us, and then the feet stay active throughout. And you can either just sit here, trying to get a nice straight back. If that feels like that's enough for you, that's cool. If you want to go into it a little deeper, I'd like you to walk your fingertips in front of the shin. Big breath in. Exhale, try and fold forward as far as you can. If you want to stay upright, that's absolutely fine. If you just want to fold forward a little bit, just to here, that's good too. You can come down onto your elbows. All of those choices are yours. And then when you're ready, gently come up, back to a seated position, and we're going to switch again. So we're going to lift both knees and we're going to roll over to the other direction. So we lift both knees, the heels stay connected to the ground, we roll ourselves over to the other side, and the shins, the thighs lie down again. Switch around so you can see me. Okay, and again from here we've got those 90-degree angles, the feet stay switched on, so the feet are slightly flexed. Put the fingertips down. You can either have them to the sides of the thigh, you can have them in front of the shin. Find out where feels alright for you. And then begin to come into it a little deeper. Only go into where feels alright for you. know that just like in riding a mountain bike, there's going to be times that it's a bit uncomfortable, but a bit uncomfortable is okay, just as long as it's not painful. On an inhalation, come up to where you were. We're going to bring both feet in front of us and put the fingertips down in front of us, then send the legs back. We're coming to all fours. And we're going to come to all fours with the toes tucked under. So I want you to have a really good tuck on the toes. The hands are planted. And when you plant the hands down, I want you to imagine you're pushing up into your arms, up into your shoulders. Your core is engaged. You've got the weight back into the toes. They're nice and strong. They can take you. Big breath in, and as you do, I want you to hover the knees, and then I want you to lift the bottom into the air. We're straightening up through the legs. On an exhalation, straighten up through the back, lower the heels down towards the floor, come to downward facing dog. Next inhalation, lift the heels, come as high as you can onto the toes, begin to bend the knees. The back and the head naturally come forward through the movement, hover the knees. Take a breath in. Begin to push up through the bottom, straighten through the legs, lower the heels. Exhale, back to downward dog. Keep rolling through this motion now. Go with your breath, make it smooth, lift the heels. Bend the knees. Come back to all fours with the knees floating. Lift the bottom. Straighten the legs back to downward dog. Exhale, release the heels. Heels lift. Up as high as you can onto the toes. Keep pushing down into the hands, pushing up through the arms. And the knees bend. Hover the knees back to all fours. And then lift again, bottom lifts, legs straighten, lower down through the heels. Raise the heels up, bend the knees, lower the bottom back to that all fours position, float for a second, and then exhale, bring the knees down. Release the toes, and we're going to come to laying down on our front. So we lie down on our front and we do so with the hands just by the shoulders, elbows are tucked in. Bring the forehead to the floor for a second. And then when you're ready, a little bit of pressure comes down into the palms. You can either slide forward through the elbows, so the elbows sit below the shoulders, and we move into the back and loosening the belly. You can stay here in what is a sphinx pose, I guess. Or if you feel like you'd like to get a little deeper with this, place the palms to the floor, push through the palms, straighten up through the arms and look forward. If you are doing it like this, I'd like you to keep your buttocks relaxed. And then try tensing them. And then try relaxing them and notice the difference. On an exhalation, come down. Slowly lay the belly down and then the chest. Bring the arms to the floor in front of you. So you put one hand on top of the other. Lay the head down. And rest. Those are your few good moves. Try and use them daily. Try and play with them, see if you can take them deeper, and enjoy your practice. Thank you.